So hey everyone, welcome to our course again. So in this today's session, we'll be discussing about some Linux command, and in this session we'll find some basic Linux commands. And as you know, like this Linux is widely used in networking world. So network engineers and system administrators use these important operation system commands a lot in their daily routine and in their critical operations too, right? So I have created this session for to use it during your network or system management activities. Anymore, you do not need to search any Linux command on internet because you will find what you need here in this video itself. So starting with the hands-on part, so let's have a look on the terminal. So this is our Ubuntu terminal, and starting with the basic command that is related to system information, and that is basically named as uname-r. So this command is basically used to show the Linux system information, and as you can see the output of this command, it says 5.15.0.1884 generic. It means it is the version of my Ubuntu kernel that I'm running right now on my system. Right after that we have uname-a. So this basically shows the Linux system information. The above one shows the kernel release info, and this one shows the Linux system information. And you can see it says my system is Linux Ubuntu, and the kernel version is this. As you can see in the above command, the same thing. And and you can also see at the end it said x8664, and that's it. So after that we had some cat command that is basically used to what we can say that is basically used to show the installed Ubuntu version here. So if I do cat etc OS release, so you can see this is the information related to my operating system that is running on my system right now. And you can see it says pretty name Ubuntu. That's really true. And the version is this 22.04 I'm running right now, and it is the LTS version, the long-term stable version, and the name is jellyfish. You can see here, right? And there are a lot of things like the flavor is Debian here, and the code name is Jemmy. So these things are about my operating system. Now we can also display system running lifetime, right? So you can use the uptime command for that, and it will basically show the system running time that is running on the system right now, right? So it's like 11:45:14. Then you can also show the system host name using the command hostname, right? So my host name is Ubuntu, and you can also change it, right? So you can put the host name according to your will. You can put it like anything, whatever you want. And if you want to see the IP address of your host, then you need to just type hostname-i, and it will show you the IP that is basically related to your host Ubuntu. And also if you want to check that if your system like the system reboot history, what you can do is you can type last reboot, and it will show you the system reboot history, like what was the last time you have rebooted your system, right? And then after that we have some basic command that basically show the current date and time, that is used as date. You can see today is Monday 2nd of October 2023. And you can also see monthly calendar using the call command, So right now it is not installed, so you can also install it using this sudo apt install. And yeah, it has been installed. If I use it, yeah, so this is the the monthly calendar that is provided by my Linux system Ubuntu, and you can see today is 2nd of October. It is highlighted here, Monday, and yeah, this is basic calendar of your operating system. And you can also see the mounted file systems onto your system using the mount command. And so these are some of the things that are being mounted on my system. So there are a lot of things not to worry about what the output is. So just for the sake of you should know about what this mount is. So this mount is basically used when you attach some external things to your hardware or this bare metal of your PC, and it basically detects that and mount that to your system. A common example of that is you can use a hard disk, and if you attach a hard disk to a system or a pen drive to a system, it is basically mounted, and you can see that into your file manager of your operating system, right? After that, we had some user information commands, right? So starting with those commands, let me clear the terminal first, right? And okay, so starting with the first command that we have the ID. So this command basically shows the user and group IDs of the current user, right? So you can see the user ID, the group ID, the groups, right? So after that we had the another command named as last. So this basically shows the last users logged on your system, right? So you can see I was the one who logged into the system earlier, so it says Ubuntu, right? So this was me. If you had multiple users into your system, it will show the name in this output itself. And yeah, if you want to know like who you are logged in as, the name of the user, so you can do it like who am I, and yeah, it shows the name of the user, that is Ubuntu right now. After that you can also see who is logged into the system using the who command. You can see the Ubuntu is currently logged into your system, right? So after that and if you want to see what they do along with who is logged into your system, there is a very simple command. Just type W and you can see the Ubuntu is currently logged in, and they are doing these following things, like one of them using the bash, right? And these are the things that are being used by me. This is basically showing the same thing. After that we had another command that is we can create a group, let's say named as test. So you can, if you want to add some group into your system, you can do that using the group add command. And let's choose the name as test. Okay, it says permission denied, so let's use sudo. Yeah, so the sudo group add test has been successfully done, right? And after that we can also create account named as, let's say, Ubuntu. No, let's take it as Ubuntu 2. Okay, so we can create a account named as Ubuntu 2 with the comment, let's say hi. So we can do user add, and we'll use the comment as -c, hi, and we'll use the name as Ubuntu 1. Okay, permission denied. Yeah, so the user has the account has been created with the name user1 and the comment is hi. And you can also delete the this account using this user del command. So you just need to use user del, and you can delete it by typing the name ubuntu1. Yeah, and also it's always recommended to use these things without sudo permissions, because sudo is pretty powerful. So if you are able to handle that, then you can you run these commands in the sudo mode. But for the sake of uh, not messing up the things, I'm just using this all these commands in this now without sudo environment. Okay, and after that let's move on to some file system commands. So basically so you had a lot of files in your system, right? So in order to list all the files along with the details, like with the file type, the user, the permission the file is having, etc., so you can use ls-l, and it basically says there is no file. That is because my VM is fresh, and if you want to see a live example of that, I can do make dir let's say hi.txt. Now this txt has been created, and let's use the book command again, and now you can see the details of this hi.txt file. You can see the permissions. We have read, write, execute, access, and the username, and day and month of creation and time, right? And after that, if you want to list files with human readable format, you can use the same command but with h. So you can see the human readable format of the above output. And if you also want to list like the hidden files too, then what you can do is you can use ls-al, and these are all the files that are hidden. Basically this ls is not able to show those commands, but this ls-al is used to show all these hidden files onto your system. And if you want to see your present working directory, you can also use that using the pwd. So this basically shows us the directories home and Ubuntu, and here we are. So we had some basic command like the make dir command that is used to create the directories. So moving on to some file permission commands. So we have some commands to change the ownership of a file or directory, that is basically named as chow and user. So yeah, in my case the user is Ubuntu, right? Okay. You can use chow and hyphen help, and it will basically list out all the things, right? So hyphen c is basically used for changes. We have you can have a look on all these things, right? Yeah. So you can see the examples here. We can also change the owner as -u to root. Let's do the chow and root of Ubuntu. Okay, we don't have. So before moving on to like ch1, we need to create a user owner, right? So current now for now I am not having that one, so this command is not working. But you can create your own groups and owners, right? So after that it will work. So, and so these were the basic commands, right? And now moving on to some what we can say Linux networking commands. So yeah, we will start with the ifconfig command. So these were just the basic commands of Linux, and now moving on to the networking commands, we have the ifconfig. So you need to install this nettools before moving on to that command. And so meanwhile, this command is basically used to display the network interface configuration. So the nettools has been installed, and let's try to run the command again. So you can see this is network interface configuration of my system, and you can see the interface name as ETH0, ETH1, and LO as the local host IP. So I had two interfaces into my system, one as ETH0 and one as ETH1. Then you can see the IP here, right? The net mask is this one, and we have a lot of things we'll be discussing later. And yeah, and this is basically the MAC address of the interface. And after that, we also had another command, that's IP, and we use IP address show basically, or IP-A, or IP header show. Yeah, so this basically shows the same thing but in a different format. And yeah, after that we had the ping command that will be basically test network connectivity to a specific IP address or domain, we can say. So let's take example. Let's use the common DNS IP, that is 8888, and you can see it is unable to ping that because the internet is not working right now. And if we also try to ping google.com, yeah, so in above case it wasn't working because you have to add this thing to your DNS, right? So you have to go to the etc and you have to change the DNS lookup file, and you have to insert this 8888 to that file. And in this google.com you can see the output, so it is basically getting a response from the Google, right? So this is how this ping work. You can check, you use this ping basically to test the internet connectivity. Then we have the traceroute command, right? So this is the traceroute command that basically shows the route and measures transit delays of packet to the destination. Again, we'll use google.com, so we have to install it first. Yeah, now let's traceroute google.com, and you can see this is the basically the route that the google.com domain basically follows. And yeah, it is basically starting from my gateway this 192.168.5.1 and is ending at this, right? So it could be any IP of their server and the Google, in the Google servers setup at their end, right? So after that we had another command that is named as nslookup, right? So this nslookup is basically used to queries DNS to obtain the domain name or IP address mapping. So if we do google.com, it will basically list out the IP address of the google.com domain name, right? So use this to find the IP address. And after that we have the dig command, that is basically a very versatile DNS tool for querying DNS servers. So if you do dig google.com, you can see the output of this command for it is basically calling the DNS server of the Google, right? And now moving further, we have the netstat command. So we have this netstat command that is basically used to display network connections, routing tables, internet statistics, masquerade connections, etc. And if you run this, okay, the output is pretty big, and you can see the output. It basically shows all the things related to the, this network connections and routings and this masquerade kind of things. Then we have another command to show the details of the socket statistics, that is SS. So this basically all the details about the sockets into your system, right? So these are the ports number that are associated with your sockets into your system, right? And after that we had the route command that basically but you can see manipulates the IP routing table. If you use route -n, you can see it basically shows the destination, gateway, and the interface name itself, right? So after that we have ARP command that basically modifies the ARP code, and if you use ARP-A, so this is the ARP command basically, right? And after that we had the ifconfig that basically configures in wireless internet wireless network interfaces. So if I do ifconfig, okay, before that we have to install these tools, right? So this will basically configures wireless network interfaces. If we run the command again, so you can see the no wireless extension, no wireless extension, no wireless extension, because these things are these are virtual networks. Basically this is a VM, right? So this is not a physical machine on which you can see the wireless extensions. And after that we had the IP up command. So this basically brings a network interface up. So if you do IPA, you can see this up basically in the interface, so it means the network interface is up. I can also do it down using IP down ETH1. Okay, I guess it requires some tools before using this one. Maybe IP up. Okay, so maybe I need to install this one. Let's try this. Yeah, if I do IP down ETH1, okay, maybe maybe it requires some additional tools. So after that we have IP tables that, right, so that is basically used to maintain and inspect IP packet filter rules. We use -l along with this, and okay, it says permission denied, so let's use sudo, and you can see the IP packets filters rules. Here you can see the chain forward policy, input policy, and output policy. And after that we had the SSHD, that is secure shell domain for secure remote login. If you want to access your system from somewhere else in the world, you can use this SSH secure shell domain. So you basically use this ssh command. So need to do some authentication. Yeah, it's working fine, right? And after that we had some scp commands, and so this scp basically used to securely copies file between host on a network, and the format to do to do the scp is something like scp, and then we need to type the file name, let's say hi.txt, and after this we need to set the destination path. Let's say I had another server named as Ubuntu 192.168.5.2, right? Maybe 120, and I have to give the destination path here. It's home / Ubuntu. And for now, this just sample command, because right now I'm not having another VM in order to run this scp, so you can try it out on your own way. And then we have the curl command, that is basically used to transfer data from or to a server supporting various protocols. So we can use this curl command. And after that we give the domain name. So okay, it is basically a simple output, and you can use any another link, web link, so that is basically used to transfer data from on or to a server supporting various protocols, right? So after that we had the wget, and if you want to download something from the web you can use wget, and if I want to download any image I have to paste the link here and we'll fetch it out, right? Exactly. So this work in this format, you just need to paste the web URL here and use the wget, and will fetch it out from the web. After that we had the another command named as nmap, that is basically used for network exploration and network auditing tools. So if you use nmap, and let's use google.com. Okay, we have a typo here. We have to install the nmap first. Okay, nmap has been installed. Now let's run the same command again. Yeah, so you can see now you can explore the network, and yeah, you can see the output here. It basically shows the nmap scan report for the google.com with the IP address, and the host is up. We have the port from where the network packet has traveled. We have the TCP ports open, we have this close, open, and a lot of things here, right? So this is the whole hop to hop a tool to export network packets. Then we have TCP dump, similarly to capture the network packets. So we use something like TCP dump along with the interface name, let's say t as 0. Let's use sudo. So this basically capture and analyzes the network packets, right? Let's cancel it out. And after that we have the lsof command, that basically lists open files and processes that open them, right? So we can use, let's say, lsof -i :80. So we don't have anything here at 80. So maybe if there is an process running at port 80, so in your case it will list out, right? And after that we have the ETH tool, that basically shows or changes the internet card settings, right? So we can use the ETH tool, ETH zero interface name, and you can see, okay, we can also use it, yeah. So you can see the output here. It basically lists the open files, and yeah, you can see the speed is unknown, and yeah, we had a few things here. Then after that we had the hostname CTL command that basically used to query and change the system hostname and related settings. So we basically use a hostname CTL status. Right, so this will basically list out the system hostname and related settings. Right, so this is the hostname of my system, and this is a VM, right? And the virtualization is KVM. The version is this, Ubuntu 22.04. The kernel is this, and these things. The architecture is this one, right? After that, we had the nmcli command. So that is basically used to the kind of a CLI for network manager. So we use nmcli stand for client, and connection. Okay, we have to install network manager tool for that. Let's install it. Yeah, now running the same command again. It basically shows nothing because right now I don't have any task running into the system, so it is showing empty. And after that we have the iptref that basically used for real-time network bandwidth monitoring. So if you use iptref, you need to install it first. Okay, if you need to use it with sudo, yeah, so you can see this kind of what we can say, yeah, kind of network manager, right? So you can see it as a GUI, what we can say, and yeah, it's basically used for as a monitoring tool. So let's exit it. After that we have the ftop command that basically shows bandwidth usage on an interface. So if we use iftop hyphen I and interface name eth0. Okay, we need to install it first. Right, so now let's run the same command again, and you can see the IP address, the MAC address, and the pcap open live switches permission there is sudo, and okay, you can see it's basically listing the what you can say, the bandwidth usage on an interface, right? So after that we had another command that is named as ipcalc. So that basically used to calculate the IP network settings. So if I use ipcalc and I need to provide the IP of my system, maybe let's say on 168.5.1 or 5. Let's say /24. Let's install the package first. Running the same command again, and you can see the output basically calculate the IP network setting, right? So it basically shows the address, net mask, we have wildcard, Then we have the host min IP, the max IP, the broadcast IP, and yeah, that's it. We had, and it says we had this private network of type of the class C, right? This is really cool. After that, we had another command that is uh, basically mtr, that basically combines the functionality of traceroute and ping. So if you use mtr for google.com, okay, so it basically used to ping along with the monitoring, right? So it is like ping plus traceroute combo, right? After that, now moving further, we have um, the telnet command that basically provide user interface to the telnet protocol. And what we can do is we can use this telnet google.com at port 80. So it is trying to connect google.com, right? And after that we had the so after that we had the netcat command that basically read and write data across network connections. So I can use this nc hyphen l hyphen p 1 2 3 4, right? So this command is basically used to what you can say reads and write data across network connections. And this is a simple command, right? So it is not able to run, but it works. After that we have the what we can say iptop, the iftop command. This is the same one. I think I have already shown this one. Now moving further, we have the dig plus trace command that basically traces the DNS delegation uh, down from the root, right? So we use dig plus trace google.com, and yeah, you can see the output here, right? And after that we have this IP, what we can say, the MAC address show command that basically shows the multicast address. So if I do an IPMA and address after that, right, and use show. So this basically used to list out the multicast addresses onto your interface system, right? So after that we had the tuln command, netstat with tuln, right? So you can basically listening ports using the netstat command with the hyphen tul and tunnel. Yeah, so this basically lists out the listening ports on my system. And after that we have some basic commands that is only shown the I think let's move on to the IP tref ng. So after that we have the jperf command that is basically GUI for iperf, right? So if we run jperf, okay, we need to install the jperf first. So let's skip this one, and moving further we have the ngrep that basically used for network grep, pcap aware tool that allows rejects pattern matching on network packets. And after that, we have the what we can say, we have the NMCLA that I've already shown you. And moving further, we have the SCAPI. Okay, this is a Python tool. I can install it. I'm not sure if it will work or not. It's a pretty big file, I guess. Yeah, it will take too long, I guess. Maybe we can cancel it and we can move further. We have the arping command that basically send the arp request to a host, allowing you to discover a host on the Ethernet, right? So you can use arping. After that, we need to put the IP. Let's say 192.168.5.1. Okay, and install the arping first. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so it basically says we need some parameters. Let's say it's some 3. Okay, we need to run it as root. Yeah, you can see the arping is working now. It's sending some what you can say ARP request to a host, and I have put the 3 here, so it is basically sending 3 requests to the host 5.1, right? And after that, we have another command that is Mac changer. That is basically used to, as the name suggests, change the MAC address of a network interface, right? Okay, so yeah, so we can change the MAC of let's say ETH1. Yeah, so the current MAC is this one, the permanent. So you can run, okay, we use sudo. Yeah, so you can see the previous MAC was this one, and now we have changed the MAC to this one, right? We have the CA, this the new MAC, right? And after that, we had the another command that is basically the bmon, and we'll install this one also. So playing with this networking commands is kind of fun because you never get bored of them. There are lot and tons of networking commands, and it's not like they are endless, right? So they're like endless. You're not going to get bored of them anyhow, right? So every time you try to learn a new command, there will be another command that you will find that you were not aware of that, and after that you will learn that one, and journey will go in this way. Okay, so if you use bmon now, yeah, so this is basically a interface bandwidth monitor, you can see. So this seems a pretty cool interface, right? So we have two interfaces, the ETH0 and ETH1. You can see the receive bandwidth, you can see the transmit bandwidth, right? And after that, we have the etherwave command that basically used for a graphical network monitor. Okay, yeah. Yep, taking some time. Meanwhile, we can discuss some other commands. Let's say we have, after that we have some, let's say, darkstat command that basically capture network traffic and calculate the statistics about the usage. And I will show the demo of that also. But before that, let's have a look on this one. Okay, it says can't open display unexpected UF and read all. Okay, maybe it's creating some issue, that's fine. And I was talking about this darkstat, right? So it's darkstat hyphen I et as you want. Yeah, so this basically captures network traffic and calculates the statistics about the usage of on that specific interface, right? Okay, we have to use sudo. Yeah, I was able to run that. Now we are about to end the session with a few commands. So we have the let's say we have the scan command here. So that basically scans for host on a network using ARP request. So we use ARP scan, and then we'll use this hyphen local net. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, lawyer and we sudo. Yeah, you can see the output here, right? And yeah, this was all about the networking commands. And there's also, I will be ending this session with one bonus command, that is htop, that will be used for the monitoring purpose of your whole Linux system. And you can see here it basically shows everything about your system, right? So I have two cores into my system, the 0 and 1. You can see the memory is 3.81 gigs and 2200 MB, of which is currently the system is using. And we have some of the, you know, we have some processes running into the system right now. The CPU usage, you can see the memory usage along with the command, and the PID, the user is the root, and so there are a ton of commands, right? So this is a pretty cool what we can say monitoring tool in order to monitor all the things happening inside your system, right? And with this, let's end our session, and we'll meet you in the next session, right?